This week on 20 TV, local zoos build a new attraction and draw crowds. Then bands from around the state go head to head. But first, District 20 teaches students about your internet safety. You're watching 20 TV Weekly from Academy School District 20 in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Hello and welcome to 20 TV Weekly. I'm Travis Stedman.
And I'm Jackson Barton. Thanks for joining us today on 20 TV. Parents in District 20 have the opportunity to learn how their kids can safely use the internet. District 20 will be holding their annual Internet Safety and Digital Citizenship Parent Academy. Parents will learn what digital citizenship is and how they can get their kids to begin practicing proper internet safety. The internet is one of the most used assets in a student's life, and it's very important they use it in a safe manner. D20 believes that the internet can be a great learning tool when parental supervision is applied.
In that, we encourage parents to actively engage, know where their students are. The younger they are, I think the less access they should have where there's not an adult in proximity to really see whether they're deliberately going there or even accidentally getting exposed, again, as we referred to earlier.
This is the third year that this event will be held. The district is expecting double the participation of the past year. This Parent Academy will be held on November 17th at 6:30 at the Education and Administration Center at 1110 Chapel Hills Drive. For more information, visit www.asd20.org.
The trumpets sounded and the drums rolled as the South Region State Qualifying Marching Festival took place. High school marching bands from all over Colorado went to compete and perform in this year's event that lasted 7 hours. Each school competed in a 15-minute performance against their rival schools in their classification. There was pressure in the air throughout the event because their performance would ultimately decide their position for the state competition, which would be held next week.
This was the most amazing performance that we had because there was just so much passion, and it was really all together because marching band's really all about being together and having good tone. And both of those things were happening. Of course, there were a few little mistakes, but as soon as we realized that they were mistakes, we tried our best to recover and just get back from it.
At the end of the night, the schools got a complimentary performance from the CSU Pueblo Marching Band. Air Academy High School walked away with first prize in their festival and later went on and win the state band competition.
Students at Pine Creek High School are learning how to communicate with the deaf and expanding their world. American Sign Language has been taught at Pine Creek for the last 8 years by Linda Trumbar. ASL allows students to communicate to people who can't hear. This career and technical education course gives students a hand-on experience. Students who take this course get a sense of what it is to work in the real world and become great resources for people who are deaf.
It's a small, tight community, and once they know that somebody knows sign language, everybody starts going to that person.
When the program started at Pine Creek, there were 16 students enrolled in ASL. Today, Trumbar has more than 200 students in her classes.
Cheyenne Mountain has a new habitat for an exotic animal. At the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, the mountain tapir has been waiting about 6 months for its new habitat. Tapirs are herbivores and their diet consists of leaves and fruits. Tapirs are exclusively to only 2 zoos in North America, one being the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo and the other being Los Angeles Zoo. These tapirs are endangered in South America and are extinct in parts of the Andes Mountains of Ecuador, Colombia, and Peru. The Cheyenne Mountain Zoo is excited about the new features of the habitat.
This is a brand new exhibit for them here at the zoo, and they really enjoy having this exhibit. It's got a lot of really great features, these really great pools that we have behind us. Tapir really love to swim in pools, so they've got 5 pools here with a really nice cascading waterfall behind us, and they've got a big grassy area where they can forage around.
The Cheyenne Mountain Zoo is open around from 9 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. for visitors to enjoy the new mountain tapir exhibit. Coming up after the break, the temperatures are dropping and so are the leaves. We will have your forecast.
And fall sports playoffs have started and some D20 teams are in the running for a state title. You're watching 20 TV.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to 20TV Weekly. Thanks for staying with us.
With the cooler temperatures in the air, the fall weather is here to stay. 20TV's Dustin Bohuslawski has your forecast.
Fall weather is definitely here to stay, as we're seeing some daytime temperatures only reaching the 40-degree mark. I'll detail what we can expect for the next week in just a minute. But first, looking nationally, we can see some heavier showers along the East Coast through the Carolinas and Virginia area. Out west, not a lot is going on. We do see some rain in the San Francisco Bay Area, which you can imagine is a very welcome sight for the parched areas of California in desperate need of rain. Looking closer into Colorado, we don't see any precipitation yet, but that will change by Tuesday as our next cold front will be making its way through our area. Our almanac for this time of year looks like this. Our average high is 54 degrees and our average low is 28. Our record low was set back in 1950 with a bitterly cold 2 below zero. And looking through the rest of the week, we can see the next system bringing us that chance for some colder air and even some snow is possible during the overnight hours. We will warm back up by the end of the week with highs of 48 on Friday and 58 on Saturday. So we're not going to experience any bitterly cold temperatures over the next week, but you want to make sure to get a coat with you wherever you go just to stay warm. Travis and Jackson?
Thanks, Dustin.
Let's now turn to 20TV's sports with Brad Powell.
The TCA Titans and the Air Academy Cadets faced off last year in the 4A Boys Soccer Championship game, with that win going to the Cadets. They would face off again this year in the tournament, but this time in a round of 8. Would the Titans be able to avenge their loss from last year? This would go back and forth in the first half, with TCA scoring first, but Air Academy answered back, tying it at 1. But TCA would take the lead 2-1 going into the half. The Titans would score first in the second half, going up 3-1. The Cadets tried to rally back to tie it up, but could only score 1 goal. The Titans would go on to win by final 3-2. They now advanced to the semifinals, where they would face off against Stanley Lake on November 11th at 7 p.m. at Legacy Stadium. If they win that, they will face off against the winner of the Cheyenne Mountain Evergreen game for the 4A Boys Soccer Championship. Our last 20TV sports broadcast for the fall season happened last Thursday, where the Pine Creek Eagles football team took on the Palmer Ridge Bears for the 4A Pikes Peak title before moving on to the state playoffs. The Eagles would score 2 touchdowns during the first half and would lead 14-0 going into halftime. Neither team would score during the third quarter, but Pine Creek would put up 15 more points in the fourth quarter and would go on to win their 10th game of the season, winning 29-7. The Eagles would claim the number 1 seed going into this year's playoffs. They will face off against 16th seed Thompson Valley on November 14th at 1 p.m. at D20 Stadium. The game wrapped up our live broadcast schedule for the fall sports season. 20TV covers live sporting events throughout the school year. If you would like to see any of the archived games, you can visit our website at www.ast20.org/20tvsports. That's all for sports. Travis and Jackson.
Thanks, Brad. We have more ahead on 20TV Weekly.
Coming up next, we'll show you what you can expect in next week's show.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Welcome back to 20TV Weekly. We're almost out of time for this week's show.
But first, we're going to take a look at some of the stories we're working on for our next show.
Liberty Football is looking to do something they haven't done in years.
And Pine Creek Theater is gearing up for their latest production.
Plus much more news, weather, and sports right here on 20TV Weekly.
That's all the time we have for this week's show.
Thanks for joining us and have a great week.